Preparing for a triathlon, it's not an easy task, and it's a feat that requires physical and mental strength along with financial ability. Since the Greater Waco Sports Commission has provided 5 individuals the opportunity to represent Waco in the Ironman Triathlon. And along the way, the organization offers a behind-the-scenes look in the form of a podcast for you. Joining us now to share more is the host and our friend, Mike Voglar. And we want to thank you for coming back today to talk to us and being here. A lot of athletic events that you're involved with. The last time you were here, you talked about Waco Triathlon. How did that go for you?
Yeah, no, Waco was great. It was super proud of just the chamber and the entire community of putting that event on. It went so well, and it was a blast to be able to participate. So it was a little bit, unknown if the swim was going to take place or not, but the swim happened, and so we were really thankful to be able to squeeze that in.
Yeah, and Team Waco was part of that triathlon. Can you tell us more about the group a little bit? I know that there's a lot with each person's story, but in general terms.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Team Waco was out there on the course, and so people got to compete alongside with them. And essentially what Team Waco is, it's folks that live here in this county that are wanting to be able to ultimately compete in the Ironman that's coming up in October. So this was a great way for them to kind of get that first taste of what a triathlon is with a shorter distance, be able to work through the transition and the different types of races that are all involved in it. And so it was a great time for them all.
And the it's a daunting thing to think about, an Ironman triathlon. So the preparation must be really something to follow, something incredible to follow as far as how you do it and what you go through in that process. And that brings us to the podcast. Share with us how the show got started.
Yeah, so it really just is kind of a step back of the Team Waco. So again, creating this scholarship to be able to help share the stories of the people that live here in this county, because that's why we all love sports, is that they're unscripted stories. And so we want to be able to follow along with the characters. And so with an event like this, it's more than just the race results that take place on the race day. It's the journey to get there. Mm-hmm. But so many people, how do you share those stories of these different county residents? And so that's why we get to share the podcast. Each athlete gets to do a podcast where you get to hear their background, what they're going through, what their goals are over the next couple months, ultimately leading up to October in the race.
Yeah, you're probably pretty familiar with a lot of what they are experiencing and their stories, but what's it been like to sit down with them and share more about their stories in this podcast format? I bet you find you're learning even more, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's so fun to be able to sit down with them when we get to do these podcasts, because it's almost therapeutic for them. It's a chance for them to be able to sit down and just kind of reflect deeply on why are they doing this. And I get to just kind of ask them, and they really are open and transparent. And honestly, they get really emotional. Yeah. And just being able to share their journey, what they're overcoming, and really what they're aspiring to be. And so it's great to be able to be part of that and talk through it.
Okay, and then from Team Waco to Survivor. All right, so we were shocked to learn that Team Waco alumni Mitch Guerra, he'd be competing on the reality TV show. Tell us about that whole aspect of all that.
Yeah, shout out to Mitch. We'd love to be able to, we say that we take a little bit of credit for him being on Survivor, but no, truthfully and honestly, he applied to be on Team Waco, and for the same reasons that we fell in love with him and we saw so much in him, I think the cast or the surviving casting crew saw the same thing. Mitch is just an incredibly driven person that wants to be able to lean into challenges, but really ultimately inspire people. And so, it's for folks that watch Survivor, they got to see just the incredible side of Mitch and his personality shine through. And so we got a first row look at that, with him on Team Waco in the previous years. And as an alumni, he's a great representative.
He's got some gumption, no doubt about it. Unique, wonderful individual. And we love to be able to see his story. Glad you guys got to share that too in that process. What would you say is your favorite part about hosting this podcast? Your favorite part about it?
Yeah, no, I would say my favorite part about hosting this podcast is just getting to dive deeper and to be able to help these people share their story. They all have their own story, and sometimes we just need a little bit of help being able to create that platform to be able to share that. And that's what this podcast gives them. It gives them an opportunity to be able to share their story in a consistent way with their friends, with the community, really with whoever it is, but in a quicker than a 15-second blurb. It's their 20 to 30 minute explanation of their entire journey and who they are. And these people are flat out incredible. If you listen to one of these podcasts, you're going to get hooked, because these are our neighbors, these are our friends, and you can show up to Waco and you can compete with these people.
You can see them. It's like little local celebrities. It's exciting to see.
Absolutely.
I know we hear from the athletes, but you hear about other people too on this podcast. Who else do we hear from?
Yeah, so this program would not be possible without our sponsors, because ultimately it's them that are donating gym memberships, coaching, consulting, equipment, all to be able to create these scholarships that are about $6,500 a piece, because that includes race entries and all the different pieces. So on these podcasts, we like to be able to interview some of these different sponsors, and then we also interview our board members, we interview alumni, and so like Mitch, his alumni podcast is going to be coming out here in the next couple of weeks.
Really?
So we get to reflect a little bit about Team Waco and also his experience on Survivor. And so be on the lookout for that too.
Do we know when that one's coming out? Just
it's coming out here in the next 2 weeks or so.
Okay, keep an eye out for that one.
Every Tuesday, that's when the episodes drop.
And listen to all of them. I mean, listen to all of them. I'm sure that the stories are really inspiring. What do you hope listeners take away from this podcast? And even more than that, or along with that, what do you hope they do after they listen to some of these things?
Yeah, for me, again, we've gotten to have this front row experience with these individuals as they've been training for these triathlons. And ultimately, it's just about inspiring others and also getting to understand that this is community supported. And so I want people to be able to listen to it, to be able to hear their friends, their neighbors. These are teachers, these are students in our community, these are educators, these are retirees. These are people that are overcoming so many incredible things that have never done a triathlon before or an Ironman. And I've got to learn from them. And that's the only reason that I signed up for Tri Waco last year for my first time. I'm like, if they're stepping up to the start line on something really hard and incredible, what's my excuse? I don't have one, not nearly as big of an excuse as they have, and they're overcoming it. So I think we can all learn and be inspired by folks, especially through sports and even through this.
This might be a little bit unusual to answer, but we always ask this question about our podcast is, do you have a dream guest you'd love to have? It seems like it is kind of a concentrated sort of topic, but any dream guest you'd love to have on just to keep that inspiration train going?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it'd be the next Team Waco people. Okay. But if I had to pick somebody, I'd pick Michael Phelps, just because that would be a fun one to be able to talk through just with the swimming element.
The day you do, we will be there with cameras if you let us in. I would love to see that one. That'd be amazing. Yeah. Again, we want to thank you. Anything else you'd like to add before we go? Again,
we want people to be able to know about Team Waco, the opportunity to follow along with the people from this year that are overcoming some incredible things. But then also just for the folks at home that are listening and that have always thought like, hey, I wonder if, I would ever do a triathlon or something hard like that. Maybe I don't know how to swim, and that's my first big hurdle on it. Well, guess what? There's a lot of folks that have done Team Waco that haven't swam before. And so whatever it is that's your fear or your excuse of why I can't or shouldn't do this, I just want you to be able to listen to these people and go, okay, at least I can apply. That's the first step. But that's what we want to do, is overcome any barrier, financial, mental, physical. We want to be there to be able to help this community, and I think you're going to hear that from these people as well on the podcast.
Well, you are a fantastic, kind, and supportive voice to lead this show. You're an excellent choice to be a part of this and to do this. I think it's great that you're in this role, and we appreciate what you're doing, sharing these stories, getting them out there, and all that you're doing with that organization and that program. Thanks for coming today. Again, you want to check out the Greater Waco Sports Commission podcast. Anywhere you get your podcasts, the QR code is right there on your screen. It'll take you to the Spotify page. And thanks again to our guest, Mike. We'll be right back.